putting women in the front lines. I'm totally against that. I hate to say that because that's racism in now today's world. Women think totally different than a man does. That's thus women and men. Men are from Pluto, women are from Mars, blah, blah, blah. In actuality, in a combat scenario, women do not do well. They have far more emotional things in the background than a man does. A man runs over a squirrel and, oh, I feel bad. A girl runs over the squirrel and the tears come down the eyeballs. So you take one into combat, then men around them, because we are American born and bred, we're more apt to try to coddle and take care of that girl than we are to tend to the job that we are there to do. And that's my opinion with the Marine Corps. Girls are great and they're super neat and all that. They do not belong in a combat scenario. Not at all. I'm just saying that's absurd. Because they don't think the same as a man and they can't absorb what's happening like a man. They can say all they want. Oh, I'm a man, and they can do all that they want. But up here it doesn't change. Just saying, they can't change this. I don't care how bad they don't want to be a woman, they were born that way. So when you get them into combat, yeah, it's just problematic. They don't react the same. I've been beside a woman or two that have probably outfought 1,000 men I've met. You understand what I'm saying? Far and few between. One was an Afghani freedom fighter, and she was just gorgeous, Todd. This girl was just 30 years old and from out of a book. I mean, just natural beauty and with an AK strapped on her neck. She was pretty hot. And she led a band of 130 men, and they listened to her and just without a question. She threw a command out, everybody hustled. It was cool. She was a good girl. I really enjoyed spending a couple days with her in the hills. I mean, just getting to know her. And she spoke kind of good English, so that was cool. I mean, but, you know, you meet girls like that. She'd been fighting since she was like 13. So, you know, she had a lot of years under her belt in those mountains and regions. So, but for her to hold a command position just kind of amazed me. But after fighting beside her, I see why. The bitch was bad and had a goal in mind, and that was to free the people of Afghanistan and stop the warring factions that are going on there from, you know, and didn't agree with ISIS and all the rest of it. So, oh well. Interesting place. And our boys, I don't care who's over there, and girls, whether they should have been or not, they all did an outstanding job at everything that they were told to do in a combat area. For, you know, every one guy in the front, it takes 7 in the back to keep them there. So even if I run into somebody that says they were a cook in Fallujah, I still give them a hug and tell them thanks, because they had an opportunity to get killed too. You know, there was always a rocket, always a bomb, always a suicide vest, there was always an IED. So, you know, these boys were under combat stress. And even if they didn't grab a rifle and hit the front line or go on patrols, they still served exactly what they needed to be doing. So thank you very much for your service, all of them. You know what I mean? There wasn't anybody that I could exclude from that list. None. Some I admired more than others, but as far as the appreciativeness and what they all do and to go to war, it takes a lot of effort. And you know how it is. Todd used Coast Guard. You know, there's a commander, there's chiefs, there's Indians, there's, you know what I mean, and everything gets done. Don't matter where it falls. It might fall down the ladder pretty hard on you, you know, while you're out there scrubbing or paintbrushing. But I mean, it runs efficiently. That's why the military runs that way. And even in Coast Guard, they teach you to become a number. When you're going through boot camp and got to fold your underwear and your locker's got to be right and all this stuff, and you know your name becomes pretty irrelevant at that point. You know what I mean? You're a fucking number for a general to move around on a plastic war games board.
Yeah.
That's basically all it is. So it's like, you know, that's what they try to get across your head when you go in. You're nobody. You don't do anything until somebody tells you to do something, Todd. That was really hard for me to do because I don't like people telling me what to do. So when I went in the military, I had a really hard time with that, Todd. Just like people did not enjoy my attitudes. And even way back then, I had no fear of the instructors or anything, and everybody else was, oh my God, it's Master Chief. Oh my God, it's the gunny sergeant. Oh my God, you know, they were all like freaking. Okay, what have you done? I haven't done. Oh, you've been to combat. I admire what you've done. And the rest of it and all this screaming in my face just really is irrelevant to me. Just show me what you need done. I'll do it and do the best I can. So, you know.